So one toy under the Christmas tree. Are we crazy? Do we really do this? Yes, we do. Why do we do it? Well, child deprivation, of course. No, it's not child deprivation. So first, let's look at some reasoning about why we get gifts and what gifts can do if there get to be too many gifts and how we can cut back. That is what brought us to making the decision to just do one big gift for each child under the tree every year. But I must say that they do not just get one gift in all every year. So I'll cover that in a minute. But first, let's look at why you might want to cut back on gifts. This might not be going down to just one gift, but having a limit that helps your family simplify the holidays so you can enjoy each other more, the season more, and celebrate what Christmas is actually about. So there are 3 possibilities I've kind of worked it down to that might push you over the fence, as they did me, into choosing to lower the amount of gifts that you give your children. The first one is budget. Okay, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? And because of the economy, there's a lot of people that are considering lowering the amount of gifts that they give each year just due to their budget. There's also the point of sharing with your kids what Christmas is actually about, and showing them that you can have fun giving gifts, and you can also be wise with your money while you're giving your gifts. You can also be able to share the concept of giving a gift that is meaningful, that is going to be more than just a one-day excitement type of gift, and that will last for someone. Okay, the second thing is mental health. There's so many aspects to this, but first let's look at the excitement part of gifts. Now, I'm not about to say that excitement is bad. No, excitement is great on Christmas Day. Oh, and I love looking forward to it. The build of the excitement. So this aspect looks at the commercialism of Christmas and how it can kind of encourage entitlement. You get dopamine hits and you start to get these chronic gimme. I don't know if you want to call it a virus, the gimme virus. So dopamine hits are what people have often talked about when they talk about social media and people getting addicted to social media because they get a dopamine hit when they look at things and that's why people will go back to it again and again. Well, guess what? Getting gifts can be extremely happy for us as well. It can be so exciting. But when we start to do things over and over and over again, right, they start to build those habits into our brain and we start to expect things. And when we start to expect a lot of gifts over and over again, it becomes more of an expectation, right? Not necessarily a special thing. You can also check out the post that I wrote that goes along with this video that shares a lot of research that has been done looking at the amounts of toys that kids have and how that affects their play, how it affects their development. There's some really interesting things on there. I'll give you a little bit of a hint as to how too many toys affect kids. And it has to do with making it so that they are not as confident. When toys become the main thing in a child's room, in the child's home, not the family, it can actually lower their confidence. So there's also the nervous system aspect of this. I have 2 kids with very sensitive nervous systems. I have someone who's had trauma, and so their nervous system is easily aroused. I have another kid who's really dealt with a lot of physical illness, and his nervous system is also really easily aroused. Now, the nervous system is connected with excitement, and whether it be good excitement or bad excitement, like scariness, that's all connected. It's also connected with the immune system. And so one of the things that I noticed in my child's younger days was that if he had an exciting weekend with a grandparent over at the grandparents' house, then he would come home and he would immediately get sick. And that just became the norm, that we would expect that he would be sick after an exciting time like that. So fast forward to today, we've learned a lot more about his nervous system, or, all of our kids' nervous systems. We've learned a lot more about them, and now we understand a little bit more about not triggering their nervous system so much in ways that are going to be harmful for their health. Okay, so does this mean that gifts are bad then because they cause excitement? Well, no, that doesn't mean that gifts are bad, but it does mean that we do have to be careful about that constant hit over and over again, just like I was talking about dopamine hits. It's something where I don't do things with the kids like have a special gift that we're giving them every day that we're opening up. I do try and do special things with them, but things that are going to be more relational, that the joy that they're getting is also coming from relationship with people and not just the excitement of some kind of a material possession. So you can imagine if I were to start giving and giving and giving to a child like this, that if I suddenly decided not to give to them, or you hit a point that maybe it's at the end of the holidays where there is no more getting, suddenly there is a crash from that high. And it is very hard to walk away from that. So one of my goals is to help my kids be raised as balanced mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I know that giving my kids too many gifts is not going to help this. It's actually going to cause a burden on them. It's going to hinder that. Too many gifts can get the hormones going into overdrive. And then there's no way to focus on the true meaning of Christmas, what Christmas is actually about. This baby come in a manger, God come to earth as a child so that he could give us his grace without his own expectations, and something that we did not even deserve, right? Like that's the best gift, is to get something you don't deserve and you don't expect. And when we start causing gifts to be something that's just expected, it really makes them lose their value. Number 3 is housekeeping. Because the day after Christmas, guess what happens is you get home and you just want to relax, you want to enjoy what you just went through with family and friends, hopefully, and you want to be able to see your kids play with their toys. And in my worst years, what has happened is that there will be things all over the place and I won't know what to do with them. And then if they are played with, they are strewn throughout the rooms. They don't have a home. The kids have no clue where to put them. And sometimes, you know what, things don't even get played with. And the kids want to keep them, but they won't play with them at all. And that's even harder because then you have to try and figure out how to take care of something that you're not even using. Yes, gifts are good and they are so much fun, but it's so easy for me to overdo it. And that is why I've had to cut back, because it's for my children's good, but it's also for my good and my husband's good. Because we want to be able to get through Christmas and to know that after Christmas will be enjoyed too. So now I have to ask myself the question, how do I want the day after Christmas to be? Do I want it to be easy? Do I want it to be enjoyable? Do I want to just be able to see the kids work at something and be on that toy for hours and hours, have it be something that they can just really get into and enjoy, or things that they can do together? Maybe it's a game, or how I really have to think about this in advance to try and understand that what I'm buying right now is actually preparing me for that day after Christmas and the days that follow. So what do we do about this? Well, it was last year that we decided to follow the one gift rule. Yes, I know. This is a very drastic thing, right? And before I go into this, I have to tell you that it really isn't as minimal as it sounds. We do get each child one main gift, okay? So each child is getting one toy under the tree. Then we get some family gifts. So this could be board games. It's been like tickets to the wild animal park before. It could be a basketball hoop. It could be an audio series that they like to listen to in the car. Something like that we know that everybody's going to be able to enjoy doing together. And that's always fun because it allows them to open things together. But it's also not just what we are getting them under the tree. They also have grandparents that they get them gifts. They also buy each other gifts. And then there's also sometimes a gift from an aunt or uncle, from friends. It's really not just me that's getting them gifts. And I have to remember that throughout the season as well. So that is how we do gifts. And because of this, I've been able to focus more on stockings, which is fun. I always had stockings be kind of an afterthought when I was focusing more on the tree. And I have to admit, because I'm focusing on more on stockings, sometimes I do overdo the stockings a little bit. And then like last year, I had to put one of their stocking presents under the tree because the stockings wouldn't all fit in the stockings. So yes, we do plan on one gift under the tree, but sometimes it isn't exactly like that. So there are other ways you can do this as well. Perhaps you've heard of the 4-gift rule. This one is a lot of fun because it goes with a rhyme. Something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. There's a lot of people that love this one. It goes all over social media because people love the rhyme. It's a good number, 4 gifts, right? And it's kind of covers a lot of ground. And so, you could get some clothes for them. You could get a book for them. That's a good one. There's also the 3-gift method, which kind of follows the 3 wise men. Okay, so my batteries died suddenly on my camera, so I'm going to finish with a new mic. You could also do the 3-gift method, which is kind of after the 3 gifts of the wise men. They gave gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and the gifts for these are after them in that the gold is something costly. Frankincense represents something spiritual, so it could be a journal, a book, a Bible, anything that might grow your child spiritually. And myrrh represents the body. So it could be lotion, it could be clothing, shoes, something for the body. This one is great also because it gives you the option to get a big gift, but then get a couple other things that are more like needs that you were also planning on getting your kids, but it brings them back to the real story of Christmas. I have done similar things in the past. I think I did the 4-gift method when my kids were very young, but what your family needs best. You don't have to do it exactly like them. You can kind of change things according to what your family is needing. Different years might have different gifts. So do what's best for your family. And know that these are usually best if you give your kids the expectation before Christmas so they know what is coming. It might not be that you do this year. It might be that you get through Christmas and you realize after Christmas what you want to change for next year. And then come next October, you talk with your family and you set the expectations of what the holiday season is going to look like. So doing just one meaningful gift under the tree has really helped bring our focus for gifts down to not having a bunch of things going around in my mind, and it has really helped our holiday season to stay a little bit more simple, help us to be focused on other things besides gifts. Even if it doesn't change things this year, I hope it helps you to think about next year and think about how you want your Christmas day to be, how you want your day after Christmas to be, and how you want to be instilling the true purpose of Christmas into your children. I will be back soon with more from the hilltop, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.